Now, as I just mentioned, we are a nation divided, and at the same time, the cost of living crisis is biting. It remains the #1 issue in this country. Today, the Prime Minister addressed the National Press Club in his first major address ahead of the next federal election. Now, this was an opportunity to lay out a vision for this country moving forward, an opportunity to discuss how he plans to make tangible differences to the lives of everyday Australians, an opportunity even to explain how he will unite this country and to right the wrongs of the weaknesses. Yet, all we got was the same old, unsurprising Albanese with the same old pre-rehearsed lines, slogans and placards.
The work of building Australia's future is underway. I know that building Australia's future is about your future. Building Australia's future means building better Medicare. Building Australia's future is about what we sell to our region and the world through our plan for a future made in Australia.
It's tiresome, isn't it? Can anyone please explain what is Labor's future made in Australia and what is the vision? Because all we've gotten in almost 3 years is no light at the end of the tunnel. So here are my 3 key takeaways from the Prime Minister's speech. Firstly, Albo still has not grasped that there is a cost of living crisis in this country.
It's Labor's focus on helping people earn more and keep more of what they earn against the Liberals' plan to make Australians work longer for less. The difference, this contrast, means that when the time comes for Australians to cast their vote, people can know with absolute certainty that there are things that only Labor can offer, things only a Labor government will do, because only Labor has a plan to keep the economy growing in the face of global uncertainty.
Now, how many of you out there actually believe with absolute certainty that there are things only a Labor government can offer? Try telling that to mums and dads who are struggling to put food on the table, because Labor's CV speaks otherwise. We're still waiting on that $275 in energy relief. We were told our power bills would go down. Instead, they've risen more than 20%. And he talks there about Labor keeping the economy growing. But let's not forget population growth is masking a per capita recession fuelled by record migration. It's Labor's Ponzi scheme economy at work. There's a housing crisis and the list goes on. As Simon Benson writes in The Australian today, a failure to thread together a more cohesive narrative on how Labor will restore living standards while projecting its more optimistic future will amount to a failure of the purpose. Exactly. Second, Albanese has no idea how to unite this country in the face of growing anti-Semitism under his watch.
The other thing that we have done at each and every opportunity is to look for social cohesion, not to look for difference, not to look for division, and not to look to make partisan points, but to act in a way that's responsible, that lowers the temperature of debate.
Well, the Prime Minister has not looked for social cohesion. When did we ever think we would see an Australia where synagogues are firebombed, where anti-Semitic messages are graffitied and cars are torched week in, week out, where flags of terror organisations are so brazenly flown in the streets? 15 months after the October 7 massacre, the lives of Jewish Australians have become worse, and Albo's disregard for Israel has won the praise of Hamas. And this lowering of the temperature of debate he speaks of expired on the steps of the Sydney Opera House when protesters chanted, "Where are the Jews?" And since then, the temperature has reached boiling point. Once again, Albo has failed to live up to the moment. It is too late. And thirdly, the Prime Minister is more obsessed with Peter Dutton than he is about policy in this country.
Over the past 3 years, the Liberals and Nationals have opposed every single measure we have delivered to help people under pressure. Peter Dutton sneers at them as sugar hits. When Peter Dutton talks about economic surgery, he means cutting wages off at the knees and putting Medicare on life support. Dutton's economic surgery won't be done with a scalpel, it will be carried out with an axe, hacking away at jobs and wages and Medicare, childcare and housing.
Albanese can't stop talking about Peter Dutton. And that's when you know the polls are bad, as they have been in the last few months for Albo. Gee, we're in for a long negative election campaign. I'm not sure how this guy will seriously be able to tell us he deserves re-election next year, because this one-term Prime Minister has been a failure and we're paying for it.